Now, Sylvester asked me to introduce him, but I think you were trying to do it for me. I have a few more things to add, though. Good evening. My name is Akila Moore, and I'm the Dean of Math and Sciences here at Los Banos College. Welcome, all of you. It's such a pleasure to see all of your beautiful faces this evening. So I'm here to introduce Dr. Amir Thompson, and he is going to be our guest speaker for this evening. Dr. Thompson is the director of Caminos a las Ciencias program, which is an NSF-funded program designed to enhance and expand the curriculum and resources offered to St. Mary's Hispanic and low-income students. This STEM program includes a partnership with Los Banos College, which helps establish a pipeline for students transferring from here to St. Mary's. Dr. Thompson, as you heard, is also an adjunct faculty at one of our sister colleges, Diablo Valley, where he also began his collegiate career. From his humble beginnings in Oakland, raised by a single mother, he attended DVC and upon graduation went on to CSU Sacramento to receive his BS in Biological Sciences. Dr. Thompson continued his education at Cornell University and earned his PhD in Physiology and Biophysics. In addition to this impressive STEM background, he is also an accomplished musician. Tonight, he is here to discuss the intersection between music and science. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our guest, Dr. Amir Thompson.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And also, big hand for the musicians tonight. This is amazing. I gotta be in my seat. I gotta focus on my speech. I can't be dancing right before the speech. So thank you so much to Professor Henderson for this wonderful opportunity that he provided me, as well as these amazing musicians, to share their art. And for the record, I do think you're a crazy person, but you are an amazing crazy person, and I love you for it. Thank you, Dr. Moore, for the wonderful introduction as well. I was thinking about this. This is a really great opportunity for me to come and talk to you tonight, and a great opportunity for these musicians to come and bless you with their craft, with their art. So I started thinking about this. I wanted to talk to you about something great. And the theme of opportunity kept coming to mind, opportunity. I was raised by a single mother in Oakland. I had a very typical Oakland story, right? Low income, we were on welfare at some point. I remember we used to live in this renovated storage shed, and everyone I saw was super tall to me because their head could hit the ceiling, right? But it turns out that they were just normal size, but our house was just pretty small. And despite all this lack of resources, I had one great advantage, which was a mother who would fight for me to give me opportunities. I said a mother who would fight for me to give me opportunities. So despite this lack of money, I was able to do some good stuff. And I've made my life's work based around the firm belief that if you provide disadvantaged students with opportunity, they can do great things. Opportunity changes everything. I said, opportunity changes everything. Now they say that intelligence is equally distributed, but opportunity is not. I'm going to say that one more time. Intelligence is equally distributed, but opportunity is not. So what does that mean? That means if you take any random Latina from Central Valley, or a young skinny cat from Oakland, or some kid from Marin, any one of those kids is going to have a chance to do great things. But what we see is not that. We see a huge discrepancy in the outcomes for these students. And why is that? It's a lack of opportunities. So the CALC program at St. Mary's, the Caminos a las Ciencias program, we were so lucky to have this. It's a Department of Education funded program. $2.7 million to put together programs for Hispanic as well as low-income underrepresented students to make sure that they have the opportunity to succeed in the sciences. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to help these students. I look around a room like this and I saw the performance today, and when I walk onto the DVC campus or the St. Mary's campus, or alma mater Sac State, you see so much potential in these students, just so much drive to be great. And I'm so fortunate to be able to take a strengths-based approach in our program to try to make sure that they have every chance to succeed. So if you think about it, a disadvantaged student who happens to make it to St. Mary's, on day one, they have every skill they need in order to be successful. They have that drive. They've been able to overcome all these obstacles. They've been able to punch through walls that other people would just say, well, that's just too much for me. Just to be there on day one. Same thing at Los Medanos, every day they could be here. So what my job is now is to try to leverage those strengths to make sure that those students succeed. Now, in the sciences, we have the problem of the leaky pipeline, which is you see a student start here when they're very young and they have this enthusiasm for science, but by the time they get here, we've lost them, right? They never make it there because they've leaked out of that pipeline. Students start off, and you look at a young kid, right? They have all these questions about the world around them. They ask, why is the sky blue? Like, why don't worms have legs, right? So all these really great scientific-based questions about why. How does the world work? But at some point, that curiosity dims. But we need a way to try to hook them in, to try to get them to understand that they have a place in academia, that they have a place in science. And so, like a good pop song, we can hook them in with music. See, I agree. See, all that music. So that was the first note. I think that was. So one of the ways that we can engage our young aspiring scholars and young aspiring scientists is through music. Now, historically, arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and music were all taught together. Not a lot of people know that. Exactly. Arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and music, all being held together in the same level. Right? Professor Henderson was talking about people thinking, oh, because you study music or the arts, you're not smart. No, in the liberal arts, these were all held up. So the collective of these was called the quadrivium, and it was really a way of adding numbers to help us contextualize the physical world. So even today, we can actually still see that relationship holding, where science and the arts are very tightly coupled. And we're seeing that even now put forth with this STEAM effort, this science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And it's said that many musicians actually have a very deep appreciation for the sciences. Anybody in here like jazz? Right? So Thelonious Monk, the great jazz pianist, was a huge fan of the sciences. In fact, he said one time that all musicians are subconsciously mathematicians. Right? So if you think about it, like the intervals between the notes, that's math. Excuse me, sir. Can you play a quick riff on your on the piano? Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you so much. So that's just math, right? So it's the space between the notes, those intervals, can be mathematically determined, and that's science. That's math and science. And he's up here doing math for you. It's easier to dance to than most math, but it's math nonetheless. You look at a guy like John Coltrane. I'm a big fan of John Coltrane. John Coltrane developed this very complex schematic to describe the interconnectedness between notes in a chromatic scale. Right? See, for all of the music people out there, the circle of fifths, it's pretty simple. John Coltrane took it to a whole new level. And I don't have any visual aids today, but you go online, look up John Coltrane circle, and be prepared to have your mind blown. It's amazing. He was also a big fan of Albert Einstein, as it turns out. So again, science, math, and the arts, all being tightly coupled together. And even today, I was reading about this young man who's a producer, and he doesn't go to the studio and to actually, move the boards and all these analog things. He sits there on his iPhone, records an entire album on his iPhone, does all the beats there, does all the recording, everything on his iPhone. Now think about this. We can then train our young students not just to use these iPhones, but to develop the software that's going to be on those iPhones. Right? So that's our science and math and arts all being put together. So this is going to be a great way to prepare these students to compete in this new economy that's decidedly driven by technology. Now, science and the arts offers a means for humans to make sense of the observable world. Both provide depth, clarity, a way to communicate, a way to rejoice in our common humanity. Scientists and musicians are tinkerers, They deconstruct things and they reassemble them into different places and in creative ways. And I firmly believe, with everything in my being, that music is an amazing way to create opportunity. You know, my middle name is Naphtali, and I don't know, everyone out here knows the scripture, but it's from the book of Job. And it says, Naphtali is a doe set free, he speaks goodly words, right? So, I went up here talking all these good words tonight, but words are not enough. We have work to do. So what does the scripture say about faith without works? It's dead, right? So we have work to do tonight. And not just me, it's you too. I want you to think about how you can create opportunities for young people. How can you go out to your community, volunteer as a mentor, or start a tutoring program? Put together these amazing, life-changing music programs for people to express their art. So I want you to think about what you can do to create opportunities. So, you know, in the gospel tradition, I'm going to do a little call and response, right? So when I point to you, I want you to say opportunity. Let's try it.
Opportunity.
Like you actually mean it. What, Professor Henderson? You took one.
Opportunity.
One more time.
Opportunity.
What do our young scholars need to succeed?
Opportunity.
How do we change our communities?
Opportunity.
How do we make a brighter day?
Opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Let's get to work.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Beautiful.